Welcome to Classroom Assessment Scoring System, presented by the Education Team. NCCAA Mission Statement. NCCAA works with partners to apply comprehensive strategies to eliminate the causes of poverty for the people of Nueces County.
Part of our education team consists of Tina Gonzalez, Curriculum and Instruction Coordinator, Sandra De Leon, Education Technician, Patricia Ramos, Education Coach Coordinator, Loretta Andrews, Education Coach, Dorothy Guerrero, Education Coach. Education mentors consist of Valerie Reyes, Stacy Brooks, Jennifer Acuna, Cindy Hicks. What do you know about CLASS? CLASS stands for Classroom Assessment Scoring System. CLASS is an assessment tool that observers use to measure the effectiveness of teacher-child interactions in the classroom and child care settings. CLASS is a federal mandate for pre-K. Infant-toddler class is observed for 15 minutes and scored for 10 minutes. Class observers do 2 cycles of 15 minutes. Pre-K class is observed for 20 minutes and scored for 10 minutes. Class observers do 2 cycles of 20 minutes. Scale rating starts at 1 to 7. Important points to consider. All staff in the room are observed. Observation scheduling. Outside unbiased observers. No interactions with staff prior to observation. Understanding infant class. Responsive caregiving. Scoring factors to consider. Persistent crying. Ineffective soothing. Shift from just meeting needs to what can I teach this baby? Cues for movement exploration. Eye contact during feeding, rocking. Talk, initiate, and imitate. Relational climate. During diapering, smile at infants as you change their diapers. Be gentle and enthusiastically describe each step of the routine. During feeding, hold infants close during bottle feeding. Look into their faces. Use a calm voice and tell them what you are doing before moving them or the bottle. Hygiene. Tell the infant that you are going to wipe their nose beforehand. And during play, be a participant in playtime. Sit close to infants on the floor and roll balls, stack blocks, and spin spinners along with them. Teacher sensitivity. During play, stay close to infants so you can quickly notice when they need your help with routine care. Wipe noses and faces, change diapers, and assist with hand washing as soon as you notice infants have these needs. During arrival, if infants are upset when their families leave, hold them close and acknowledge their feelings. Try a variety of strategies until they are soothed, which is singing, walking, patting, bringing out a favorite toy. And during feeding, watch infants closely to see when they want to eat more and when they are finished. Adjust the pace and length of feeding according to their cues. Facilitated exploration. During hand washing, slow down during hand washing to give infants opportunities to explore. If they smile when you place their hands in the water, talk to them about how the water feels and let them play for a few moments. During feeding, encourage infants to be as independent as possible during meals. When they show an interest, support them in learning how to hold their own bottles and feed themselves solids. During play, let infants choose books and allow them to flip the pages back and forth. Use an expressive voice to read and talk to them about pictures. As soon as you notice they have lost interest, let them choose a new activity.
Early language support. Diapering. Ask infants questions as you diaper them. To help them practice conversation, pause after each thing you say to give them time to respond, even if they are nonverbal. Does that tickle? Is the white cold? Describe the steps of setting up for a snack as you do them, and name the objects you use. I'm wiping off the table. I'm pouring your milk. I'm giving you some blueberries. Repeat and build on the sound and words infants use. If you are rolling a blue ball and an infant says "buh," you can respond "buh, ball." If an older infant says "ball," you can reply "ball. We are rolling a blue ball." Understanding toddler class. Emotional and behavior support. Engage support for learning. Scoring factors. Positive climate. Typical for toddlers to play in parallel and lack consistent empathy. Important for staff to actively teach pro-social skills, regard for student perspective, and behavior management. Will generally reflect in peer connections, relationships, positive climate. When children arrive, get down on their level, bend or sit, face them, make eye contact, and smile as you warmly greet them by name. Positive climate example. Scoring factors. Teacher sensitivity. Avoid requirement for circle time. Requiring entire room cleanup prior to circle time links cleaning with the end of play. Alter expectations. Create playful interactions. Watch length. Teacher sensitivity example. If a child falls and looks to you for comfort, hug the child, check for injury, and help them describe any pain or emotion they are feeling. Tell them it's okay to be upset, and that falls are scary for everyone. Facilitation of learning and development. Focus on teaching in the moment. Clear articulation of concepts. Requires frequent connecting of concepts. Higher order thinking skills. Predicting, comparing, classifying. Facilitation of learning and development example. As children brush their teeth, explain how to do each step and why it's important. Use your own toothbrush to model what to do. As they put their toothbrushes away, ask the children what their toothbrushes at home look like. Quality of feedback. Feedback has to be effective, not just stated. Children must demonstrate attempted understanding of new content skills. Ask difficult questions. Back and forth loops. Quality of feedback example. If a child has trouble reaching the serving spoon, move the bowl closer and tilt it so they can see what they are scooping. You're doing such a great job scooping the peas. Praise a child's hard work in specific terms.
Language modeling. Each staff member should verbally engage. Self and parallel talk for high score range. Open-ended questions. Use new words and define them. Language modeling example. When helping children put on their coats, describe the coats and explain less familiar words. Describe actions as they happen. Yours has polka dots. Polka dots are little circles. Evan's putting on his hood. I'm zipping you up. Pre-K classrooms. Emotional support, classroom organization, instructional support. Domain, emotional support. Emotional support refers to specific teaching behaviors that help children develop warm, supportive relationships, experience enjoyment and excitement about learning, feel comfortable in the classroom, and experience appropriate levels of autonomy. Emotional support has 4 dimensions: positive climate, negative climate, teacher sensitivity, regard for student perspective. Positive climate. Positive climate, building genuine relationships with children, having fun together, and treating one another with respect. Positive climate is important because children are more motivated to learn when they are happy, relaxed, and connected to others. When teachers and children enjoy being with each other, they are able to get the most out of their time together. Positive climate. Positive climate has 4 indicators: relationships, spending your time close to children and showing a genuine interest in them, sharing in their excitement and activities. Behavior markers, physical proximity, close to children, shared activities, freely joins activity, peer assistance, helping one another, matched effect, generally returned and or accepted. Social conversation between teacher and students or among students. Positive affect, letting children see how much you enjoy being with them by smiling, laughing, and showing enthusiasm. Behavior marker, smiling, laughter, enthusiasm. Emotions, teacher displays a positive affect. Students give the impression that they are in a pleasant environment and enjoy spending time in the classroom. Positive climate continued. Positive communication, celebrating children and providing affection with your words and actions. Behavior markers, verbal affection, you are really working together so nicely. Physical affection, child freely gives and freely receives. Positive expectations, you are doing a great job. I know you can figure it out. Respect, using a warm tone and facing children so you can maintain eye contact when speaking to them, using polite language and calling children by name. Encouraging children to show respect by sharing materials and cooperating. Behavior markers, eye contact, warm, calm voice, respectful language, please, thank you, and use child's name. Cooperation and or sharing, listening to each other. Something to know, children's background, positive climate overall is an enjoyment in the classroom.
Expressing anger or frustration in the classroom using threats, physical actions to control children, teasing children, or making them feel ashamed. Why should we reduce negative climate? When children are afraid, angry, or upset, even briefly, they cannot learn. When you provide children with an environment free from negativity and anger, they feel happier, display fewer challenging behaviors, and are better able to connect and learn. Negative climate has 4 indicators. Negative affect, expressing irritation through words, tone, or body language, children fighting with each other. Behavior markers are irritability, anger, harsh voice, peer aggression, disconnected, escalating negativity. Negatively clearly to a specific situation elevates quicker, and the teacher does not rise above a very mild situation. Punitive control, trying to control children by yelling, making threats, or physically acting on them. Behavior markers, yelling, threats, physical control, and harsh punishment. Sarcasm, disrespect, being sarcastic with children, or teasing, embarrassing, or shaming a child. Behavior markers, sarcastic voice, statement, teasing, and humiliation. Severe negativity, physically abusing or routinely bullying children. Behavior markers are victimization, bullying, physical punishment. In the presence of such severe negativity, classes will rate high, even in the absence of other indicators. Note to teacher, teacher not redirecting child's misbehavior can result in a negative climate. Overall level is expressed negatively in the classroom. Frequency, quality, and intensity of the teacher and peer negativity are key to this scale. Teacher sensitivity. Teacher sensitivity, noticing and responding to the academic, emotional needs and concerns of children. Teacher sensitivity is important because children with teachers who are in tune with their needs see teachers as a secure base. This helps children feel more comfortable and confident because they know an adult will help them when they face a challenge. Teaching sensitivity has 4 indicators. Awareness, being so well in tune with children's needs that they are one step ahead of potential issues, noticing any problems in the classroom right away. Behavior markers, anticipates problems and plans appropriately, notices lack of understanding and his or difficulties, so well tuned with children that the teacher is able to predict when the students are going to have an academic, social, and behavior problems. Responsiveness, quickly tending to children's emotional and instructional needs, taking children's concerns seriously and responding with understanding, reassurance, and the appropriate level of support of each child. Behavior markers, acknowledges emotions, provides comfort and assistance, provides individualized support. Teacher responds quickly when the teachers make a comment, ask a question, or send behavior signals indicating indicating a need or help for attention. Addresses problems, resolving any problems children have quickly and effectively, such that the problem does not reoccur and children can continue participating in an activity. Behavior markers, helps in an effective and timely manner, helps resolve problems. Students become happily engaged in an activity after a teacher has addressed concerns. Student comfort, being a secure base for children, children coming to you for help, eagerly participating in activities, and trying challenging tasks. Behavior markers, seeks support and guidance, freely participates, and takes risks. Child tries new things. Note, child feels safe in the classroom. Child works comfortably and freely on their own with a group. Child spontaneously shares ideas and makes attempts to answer even the most difficult questions. Regard for student perspective. Regard for student perspectives is creating a child-centered learning environment where children can make choices and activities are designed around their interests, giving leadership opportunities and listening to their opinions, allowing children to move and talk. Regard for student perspectives allows children to do things on their own. By creating opportunities for children to pursue their interests and take on responsibility, you increase children's independence and motivation to learn. Regard for student perspective has 4 indicators: flexibility and student focus, letting children's interests and ideas determine what you talk about and do in the classroom, developing new activities focused on the child's interests. Behavior markers, shows flexibility, incorporates students' ideas, follows student lead, does not rigidly adhere to an agenda or plan at the expense of learning opportunities. Support for autonomy and leadership, giving children genuine responsibilities, leadership opportunities, and choices in the classroom. Behavior markers are: you're allowing choice, allow students to lead the lessons, give students responsibility, students allowed to use the materials with an area project of their choice. Student expression, encouraging genuine responsibilities, leadership opportunities, and choices in the classroom. Behavior markers, encourages student talk, elects ideas or perspective. Activities and lessons provide ample opportunities for the students to talk and share ideas. Restriction of movement, allowing children freedom to move around and talk and get the wiggles out, as long as it's not disrupting other children. Behavior markers, allows movement and is not rigid, allows children to wiggle during circle time. Note, freedom of movement and placement during activities doesn't interfere with his or others' learning or attention. Classroom organization, productivity, am I ready? How is my classroom running? Am I following the lesson plan? Have we reviewed the lesson? What concept am I trying to teach? Are the materials ready and in the resource box? Is my small group ready? Do I have enough materials for the students? Are there any disruption? Is there a choice for the children to do something when they're done?
Transitions, transitions, transitions. Transitions should be brief and efficient. Do transitions have learning experiences?
Teachers monitor, prevent, and redirect behavior. Are my expectations clear for the day? Am I proactive or anticipating problems? And am I redirecting teaching children how to problem solve behaviors? Have I paid attention to positive behavior? Are we working consistently with each other, both teacher and teacher assistant, when it comes to reinforcing rules? Our classroom should run like a well-oiled machine. Effective interactions, clear expectations, consistency, clarity of the rules, anticipates problem behavior escalation, low reactivity, monitors effective redirection of misbehavior, attention to the positive, uses subtle clues to redirect, efficient redirection, frequent compliance, and little aggression. Classroom organization, instructional learning format. What does it look like? There should be teacher involvement, effective questioning, expanding children's involvement, range of auditory, visual, and movement opportunities, interesting and creative materials, hands-on opportunities, active participation, listening, focused attention, advanced organizers, summaries, and reorientation statements.
Instructional support. Dimensions: concept development, quality of feedback, and language modeling. Concept development. What is it? Promoting children's thinking skills by providing activities and discussions that focus on creativity, experimentation, real-world applications, and problem solving rather than memorization. Why is it important? Giving children challenging opportunities to think creatively and analytically rather than memorize facts encourages them to connect what they learn to their own lives and apply new thinking skills to further learning. Concept development indicator: analyze and reasoning. Asking questions and providing activities that get children to puzzle through problems, test out new ideas, and make comparisons. Ask how and why questions. For example, prepare a center based on a book the class has read. For instance, if you read about rainforests, you could put out rainforest animals and a rain stick. As children play, ask them how the items in the center relate to the book. Classification and comparison. For example, use instructional strategies that focus on critical thinking, such as sequencing, comparing, and contrasting, problem-solving activities. Ask questions that promote thinking, such as, why do you think John is smiling? And how would you feel if this happened to you? Concept development indicator: creating. Encouraging children to generate ideas and produce their own creations. Planning and producing. For example, during a lesson identifying letters rather than testing children using letter cards, encourage them to generate a list of letters they know and then look around the room for those letters. Another example, at arrival, have children plan what they want to do with their day, have them determine which centers they would like to play at and what materials they may need for the various activities. Quality of feedback. What is it? Responding to what children say and do in ways that deepen their understanding or encourage them to persist, continuing back and forth exchanges until children successfully complete a task or reach a deeper level of understanding. Why is it important? Effective feedback deepens children's understanding and helps them persist in tasks that they otherwise cannot complete. By intentionally looking for every occasion to provide meaningful feedback to children, you create many more learning opportunities throughout the day. Quality of feedback indicator: scaffolding. Giving children hints or other help when they have trouble completing a task or understanding a concept. Hints and assistance. For example, during whole group, when a child struggles to answer a question, assist by providing possible responses. When you said you thought tomorrow would be rainy, did you say that because it's raining today, or because you know it rains a lot in the spring? 5 scaffolding strategies. Ask prompting questions. What do you think would happen if we didn't build a tower quite so tall? Number 2, give a range of possible answers. Do you think we need bigger blocks at the bottom, or should we make 2 smaller towers? Number 3, make suggestions. Your block tower keeps falling down. Do you want to try putting all the bigger blocks on the bottom? Number 4, use a demonstration. As a teacher, make your own block tower to demonstrate how the blocks work best. Number 5, provide physical support. The teacher can help support the blocks at the bottom or catch the blocks higher as the child can stabilize it. Quality of feedback indicator with feedback loops. Using conversations with children to increase their understanding, continuing these exchanges until children reach an understanding rather than stopping with a single clarifying comment. 3 or more back and forth exchanges, persistence by teacher, and follow-up questions. What does this look like in action, and why is it not? During center time, the teacher notices that some children are pretending to work in a bakery. One child plays customer and asks for ice cream. The teacher uses this as a learning opportunity, and the following exchange occurs. Teacher, do you think ice cream is made in a bakery? Child shrugs her shoulders. Teacher, what does bake mean? Child, making it hot. Teacher, what would happen if bakers made ice cream hot? Child, it would melt. Teacher, how do you think the ice cream is made? The conversation continues. And what it is not. During center time, the teacher notices children pretending to work in a bakery. She hears a child ask for ice cream and moves on to the next child. Language modeling. What is it? Encouraging children to talk and providing them with a language-rich environment. Why is it important? Children develop new language skills when they are given opportunities to use the language that they know and when adults model more complex language. These language skills are important to children's academic and social success. Language modeling indicator, open-ended questions. Asking children questions that invite elaborate responses or put together language to communicate complex ideas. Questions that require more than one word response when students respond. Ask children about what they are doing. What are you working on? You are working very hard. Tell me about your project. What are your plans for these materials? Ask children to provide explanations. Why do you think that happened? How can I help you solve this problem? I am wondering how you did that. Ask children to make predictions. What do you think will happen next? What could we use this container for? What would you do if that were you? Ask children to connect learning to their own lives. What do you think about? How did you do that before? What does this remind you of? Language modeling indicator, self-talk and parallel talk. Describing what you and the children do as it's happening. Self-talk, maps out own actions with language. Parallel talk, maps students' actions with language. You provide language for children's actions. An example for self-talk. I'm going to give each of you 2 graham crackers. I'm opening the box, and now I'm handing them out to each of you. An example of parallel talk. You put on a chef's hat and an apron, and now you're getting out a pot. Language modeling indicator, advanced language. Intentionally introducing unfamiliar vocabulary to children in a way that they can understand, using a variety of nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, and prepositions when talking to children. Variety of words connected to familiar words and or ideas. Define advanced language vocabulary. The examples listed below links what the child already knows to a more advanced language and summarizes known concepts with a new related word. For example, during meals, verbally describe foods and utensils using adjectives that might be less familiar to children. Please pass the milk in the magenta pitcher. For example, if a child lists all the colors in her hat, red, blue, yellow, green, respond with, "It's a multicolored hat." Class is like a house. The roof, the structured walls, and the foundation. On the roof, this is where learning takes place. At this point, you are asking more from the children's cognitive skills, instructional support, concept development, quality feedback, and language modeling. The structured walls. As classroom staff, you can't expect children to make drastic academic gains without appropriate behavior, expectations, clear routines, and effective facilitation techniques and materials. Classroom organization, behavior management, productivity, and instructional learning format. The foundation. As classroom staff, you can't have a productive or effective relationship with the children in your classroom until you've formed an emotional connection with them. Emotional support, positive climate, teacher sensitivity, and regard for student perspectives. Any cracks in the foundation can cause structural issues later on. Original class condition. Number 1. Revived class condition. Focuses on use of class for quality improvement, enhances transparency, better identifies lower performing grantees for competition. Number 1, removes lowest 10% criterion. Number 2, adds quality thresholds as follows: EC equals 6, CO equals 6, IS equals 3. Grantee with score below a quality threshold is designed for quality improvement. OHC will support these grantees as they promote improvement in child-teacher interactions. Number 3, increases competitive thresholds as follows: EC equals 5, CO equals 5, IS equals 2.3 for class reviews through July 31st, 2025, and then rises to 2.5. Grantee with score below a competitive threshold is designated for competition. Does scoring below a class quality threshold mean my agency will need to compete? No, the quality thresholds have nothing to do with competition. Set the expectation for the quality of a classroom learning environments for all programs, the targets we would like to see everyone aiming for and surpassing. Provide opportunities to make intentional improvements in training and professional development with support from the Office of Head Start. These are the following references: the Teachstone website, Pre-K Class Dimensions Guide, and the ACLAC website link here, and Pre-K Class Consultation Feedback Form adopted by the following. Thank you, everyone.